Hey guys, Jonah here, back with another beer review. And I'm kind of sad to say, but it's the last Vocation beer that I'm doing for a while because obviously I've ordered some more, but this is the last beer. It is a special edition beer, and it is the Aoraki or Aoraki DIPA beer, so that's double IPA. And it's double because it's 8%. So I thought I'd save a nice strong one for the end. And yeah, this is another one of those cans. In fact, this is probably the can I was thinking about that's really difficult to read because it's shiny. So, Aoraki or Aoraki reached dizzying heights at the peak of Aoraki with this fruity mix of fresh and juicy New Zealand hops. 3 hop varieties added at different stages make this a deeper to be reckoned with. And those hops are Muntuaka, Rakau, or Waiti. Isn't that dodgy director who's kind of like a Nazi and did Thor movies, and isn't that good in my opinion? Everyone loves him, all the woke people love him, but I don't think he's that good. He's not that funny either. Anyway, in the ingredients, see, I told you it wasn't focusing properly. Come on, now focus on the blue bit. No, that's so bizarre. Let's try again. There we go. So we've got some malted barley, wheat and oats, all the good things that Unclejona likes. 8% beer. Once again, don't drive cars, don't get pregnant, because you're going to be drinking some strong beers. And it keeps sweating, so I'm having to kind of wipe the sweat off this this can. But look at that. I do like that sort of. It's obviously a mountain, isn't it? And you know, the sun's coming up, etc., etc. I guess it's a mountain in New Zealand. Aoraki, Aoraki. Don't know. The other thing was I made some contact with, yeah, my good bud Jim, who I kind of wax lyrical about quite a lot, because he was my best bud. Anyway, I spoke to his other half and last night, and it was really good because I haven't spoken to her for ages. And yeah, she's doing okay. But weirdly, she said that her mum, Renee. So if you're watching this, Renee, thank you very much. Big shout to you. Watch my videos, and I was like absolutely like astounded. I have met Renee. It was quite a while ago, but I have met her. So, cheers and beers to Renee. And weirdly, she is from New Zealand, so that is quite a cool time with this beer. So maybe, Renee, if you're watching this one, have you ever been up this mountain, Aoraki or Aoraki? In fact, could you tell me how to pronounce it? Because I'm rubbish. I'm terrible. And there's the other side. There's the V for vocation. The head, what little head there was, has totally disappeared. However, I have got high hopes. I've got high hopes that we will get some tide lines on this bad boy. I think I'm going to like this beer. I don't know if you watched the beer from yesterday. If you haven't, why not click like, click subscribe, go back through the back catalogue and look at yesterday's beer. Because I was talking about, it was Day Trip by Vocation. I I was talking about how some pale ales, I mean, this is a double, but it's still a pale ale, are really juicy and fruity, and some are really nice and smooth. And I've just got a feeling that this is going to be one of those smooth ones. Anyway, guys, the weekend is now here once again. Yeah, I've had a very weird week. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Don't want to get in trouble with work and stuff, but wow, weird things happen, and it could drive a man to drink, and I'll drink to that. Oh, actually, that is quite hoppy. It is not. It's not a juicy beer by any means, but that is still a reasonably hoppy beer, um, which is nice. But the flavors are weird. They're kind of white fruit flavors. Um, things like uh, things like kiwis, actually. Um, what's that white fruit that's kind of like a stone fruit? It's not gooseberries. It's sort of it could be gooseberry, it could be grape, but it's not that tart. It's a bit smoother than that. Um, but yeah, definitely not juicy, but still very hoppy and quite well carbonated, despite the fact that it's quite flat. Look, I think I've got a tide line in between the Vocation. Let's see if I framed the Vocation very well. Have to concentrate. Getting exciting. Whoa, good old pull on that boy. There we go. I have nicely succeeded in framing the Vocation with my tide lines. And that's what I was trying to do, actually, which I think is, yeah, a good thing to do. I've been watching some beer reviews from the Guinness, what's his name? The Guinness drinker or something like that. And he's obviously looking for Guinness, and he was the one that was saying, try and split the harp is one thing you can do with the Guinness. We've got the harp logo, and you drink your first sip, and it hits the harp. Or you can split the G of Guinness, and there's lots of different things you can do with Guinness drinking. And obviously, you get a nice tide line with Guinness because it's got a proper head on it. I'm still trying to think. It's kind of like a lotusy type flavour. It's interesting. Don't know if you've had it, but when it's my other half is very seasonal, and when it's Chinese New Year or Chinese Moon Festival, I should say is more accurate, we get the moon cakes, which is like a pasted kind of, I'm not sure if it's rice, I guess it is rice, sort of blitzed together into sort of like a marzipan, but a rice version, frangipan. And sometimes they make it with lotus as a flavour. Um, Usually it's a tea in there as well. Sometimes they put green tea in it and stuff. Mooncakes, try them out. And sometimes they have an egg in the middle, so when you bite it, it looks like an egg, like a pie, like a pork pie with an egg in the middle. Anyway, I digress as usual. And a man would naturally digress if he drinks an 8% beer, wouldn't he? But yeah, that's kind of the flavour I'm getting, a sort of lotusy, maybe grape, maybe gooseberry. No, gooseberry's too tart. It's not gooseberry, but those type fruits, kiwi fruit, perhaps, but even that's kind of not right. It's quite a flowery taste. That's what I'm kind of getting at. But because of the wheats and oats, it's also got a creaminess to it. So that's where the Lotus thing comes in, because it's a creamy sort of Lotus. So yeah, Chinese moon cakes. Try and have some. And bao buns as well. Love bao buns. Oh, well, there is the third tide line, and still I have managed to frame the vocation quite well. I'm always saying that wheat and oats, even though it's not head retention, some people really, really like head retention. But in this case, there was hardly any head on this beer to start with. So this is not about head retention as such, but it's about forming a connection from the proteins in the beer, which stick to the side of the glass. So that is essentially that is a line of protein, sows that and sows that. That's what makes the tide lines. From my knowledge of beer, and I drink a lot of beer, so I should know a little bit about it. But yeah, every now and then I get into sort of not an argument, because I don't have arguments these days, or I try not to anyway. Gets you into trouble with lots of different people. Discussion, that is the way I like to say, with certain types of people about all things to do with beers. And usually I sort of am quite animated, and I like a good discussion. I don't know if I'd make a good politician, but I think I have the right tools to argue my point quite well. And yeah, debates, that's what I'd probably be good at. Used to do that kind of stuff at school, believe it or not, have vast debates. Think of that as you will. Cheers and beers, guys. Let's go for the last sip. Ooh. And I have drunk. I was going to say drunken. Not quite yet. I have drunk this beer quite quickly. So tide line, tide line, tide line, tide line. 1, 2, 3, 4 sips to finish an 8% beer. That is quite good going on a Friday night, I think. And yeah, that was the Vocation Special Edition Aoraki or Aoraki, Aoraki. If it was Australia, it'd be Aoraki, rake off. But New Zealand is a bit softer in their accent. Look at that, that's lovely. You get a reflection here, and then it's printed, and the can is naturally that colour. So they've done. This is like a printed can essentially. This is not a sticker, that's actually printed directly onto the can. And Vocation, I really think they're a good brewery, and I don't know, it's bittersweet really, because Jim, my friend, he was obviously Vocation had been around for ages, and I've had Vocation beers before, and I've had Life and Death before, but Jim, he maintained this is the best brewery, this is the brewery that I really like, etc. And the last time I saw him in the flesh, because I spoke to him on the phone and through social media and, you know, Skype, he used to like Skype. Fair enough. Anyway, last time I saw him, he gave me a can of Life and Death and said, "Oh, you know what, dude? This is my favourite beer," and I'll always remember that, man. So, Vocation, if you happen to be watching this video, and we're 15 minutes in, so you might have already hung up the phone, as it were, stopped watching. But if you are still here, I want to say that there will always be a soft spot in my heart for Hebden Bridge and Vocation Brewery. Yeah, this has been Unclejona drinking beers from Yorkshire, from that side of the Pennines. So you guys don't have to. But if you're ever in the area, or even near Manchester, because it's not that far, it's just on the other side of the hills, get over to Hebden Bridge. They've opened a really nice new brewery, massive place. I haven't been there, but I've looked at it on Google Maps and I've seen pictures, and it is epic. And they do have a tap room, so please go there. Please drink some Vocation beers. If you do want a code to get a 15% discount, please let me know. I have a code that is valid till the end of the year. But also, if you go to their website, if you sign up to their newsletter, they don't send out a huge amount. Usually you get something on Mondays. They've got a special Monday deal at the moment where if you order a beer or a group of beers on Monday, you get a discount. But if you just sign up to their newsletter, you automatically get a 15% discount on beers. And for me, I think that's well worth the price. Anyway, this has been Unclejona saying Shimon to you all. And we'll be back tomorrow with more beer reviews. And unfortunately, it won't be a Vocation beer. It'll be something else. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I do have a Vocation beer, but it's part of a Beer 52. Let me see. Have I got this one? No, it's part of the Stone Company brews. You know what? I'm going to have that one tomorrow. So another Vocation beer tomorrow, and it's a dark one. It's only a little 330 can, but who cares? This has been Unclejona sharing the love of beer with you all, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow for another beer review. Take care.